Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. The recent days have seen a flurry of Instagram posts, Facebook posts, YouTube videos about the recent death of Sushant Singh Rajput by suicide. Needless to say, it has created a wave of awareness among many people, among mental health professionals and among lay people about suicide and what can we do to stop it, what can we do to reduce the occurrence of it. So today's video is going to be a small effort from my end in that entire collective effort that we are taking as a community, and I hope that you find this video helpful. What I want to focus on today is giving all of you a safety blanket. I like to call it a safety blanket which you can use if you are feeling suicidal. You can share this video with somebody who you know is feeling suicidal, has been battling thoughts about suicide, or you can just watch this video as a lay person and get this information kind of loaded up here so that you can help somebody if the need ever arises. So without further ado, let's start. So before getting into the safety blanket, let me share a couple of insights that I have thought of or I have received over the years about suicide. So suicide is a very complex situation, and it's a multifactorial driven situation. You can't point it out to one particular incident. Yes, there can be one incident that can be a trigger to that pushes the person finally over the brink to actually do it. But there is a build-up that has been happening through many days, through many instances. But what I have understood is that most suicides, if not all, are thought of, are planned of, and then there are others who are impulsive, that are done in the spur of the moment. So there is that crucial point when the person decides that yes, I am doing this now. There is that small window where the person has 110% decided that he or she is going to go through that, or the person has been feeling suicidal for a long time. There is that phase when all the person can think about and all the person can feel is hopelessness and ideas about suicide. So today's video is going to be what you can do in that precise moment. So needless to say, treatment in the form of therapy and medicines is definitely there. I'm not discrediting that at all. That is something that goes on in the background, right? But when it comes to that moment when the person just can't struggle anymore, the person can't battle anymore, and the person decides that okay, I can't deal with this anymore, I can't stand this anymore, I am going to take my own life. So when it comes to that moment, today's video will be focusing more on that. So think about it like if you have ever experienced diarrhea, or if you have ever experienced vomiting, and if you go to a doctor, the doctor will first give you a pill that will stop those symptoms immediately. And then the doctor will start the course that will get to the root of it, and that will actually cure the infection that you have got in your stomach. So think about this video like that pill that the doctor gives you right in that moment to stop whatever that your body is going through. Okay, so let's start. So the very first technique that a person who is feeling suicidal should do in the moment is taking a cold shower or splashing his or her face with a lot of water. What this does is it gets the person out of that ruminative chain of thoughts that's going on in the mind, and the cold water does a trick in making the person feel better. So I have shared this technique with many of my clients, and they have come back with positive news that yes, the technique was able to reduce the intensity of the suicidal ideation that they had. The second technique is changing your physical surroundings. So this is again a very no nonsense technique. It's a very simple technique, but it really does the trick. So when you are sitting in your room, or a person is sitting in the room and the person has a lot of suicidal thoughts, it really helps to get up, to move out of the room, to do something else, to go out for a walk, or to exercise, or to do some kind of painting, dancing, any kind of activity that will get you out of that loop of negative thoughts. So change of physical surroundings is the second technique. The next technique that I have often shared with many of my patients is getting somebody in the room with you. So many suicides happen when there are people in the house, but the person has locked himself or herself in his or her room, and there is no way for the family members to figure out what's going on inside. So it's a normal day, it's a routine day. The family is caught unawares when they finally go through the room and they see somewhat what has happened actually. So even though you don't feel like talking, let's say that you don't really want to talk, you just want to cry, or you just want to curl up in the bed and you want to sleep it off, let's say. Even in that situation, getting somebody in your room, just asking your parents or your siblings or your spouses or your children to sit with you. So they don't have to say anything, they don't have to try and make you feel better, but they just have to be there in the room with you. We often underestimate the importance of just having somebody with you. The mental comfort that human beings receive when another human being is sitting with them is really underrated. So when a person is feeling intensely suicidal, the number one thing to do in that situation would be to tell somebody that I am not feeling all that well, can you please sit with me for some time? And then you wait till the feeling has passed, you wait till the thoughts have subsided, and then maybe you get on to the talking part. So that leads me to my third technique, that is talking it out with somebody, expressing what you're going through, getting those thoughts out of your head. What often happens is that there is this whole chaos that is going on up here about different thoughts, about different scenarios. Definitely nobody who is having a suicidal ideation is somebody who is in a happy mood, right? So there is a lot of hopelessness and there is helplessness. There are thoughts of I can't take this anymore, I don't know what should I do, I really want this pain to end. These are the thoughts that are usually going on in your mind, and sometimes it really helps to just get them out. But when you are in that crucial moment, writing it down might not do the trick, because you need certain kind of patience when you are sitting down and when you are writing things, when you are writing your thoughts onto a piece of paper. Even like more than that, I believe that talking to somebody in that moment is something that will prove to be extremely beneficial. And this is where phone helplines come in picture. So I will be attaching numbers of various phone helplines with this video, and I urge you to at least save those numbers in your phone. You may not ever need them, but it's better to have something when you don't need it than not having something when you need it, right? So keep those numbers with you, share those numbers in your friend circle, in your colleagues, with your family and your other people that are there in your life. So make it a point to share these numbers as much as you can. So yeah, getting back to the point, calling a phone helpline, calling a suicide helpline at that point in time really helps you if, let's say, you are staying alone, if you don't really have anybody to talk to, that then phone helplines are something that you can definitely call at that point in time. So talking it out definitely goes a long way in kind of diffusing that moment that you are going through, right? So like I said earlier, there is that crucial moment, there is a crucial brink of time when you are not able to think straight, you just want to end your life. And in that point, in that crucial point, if you kind of wear that period out, you are there on the other side, and then you can maybe take a session with your therapist and you can discuss it out with him or her. The next technique that we are going to be talking about is asking yourself two important questions that will help in bringing about a cognitive shift, and it will help the person come back from the brink of committing suicide. And that is what is crucial in that moment, isn't it? That the person decides that, okay, I am not going to do what I am thinking of doing. So the first question is, okay, there is this kind of merit that I am attaching to committing suicide, and that can be getting away from the situation that is bad in my life, getting away, stopping the pain that I'm feeling right now. So alright, this is the merit that I believe is in suicide, but what are the things that I stand to lose if I do it? What are the things that I lose out on? What are the opportunities that I miss? What are certain things that I have always wanted to do in my life, but I haven't done them yet, but I want to do. I would want to do them if given a chance. So what are such things? Taking a mental trip like this and revising them or thinking about them in that moment can help you remind that there is still a lot there to live for. There is still a future that you are rejecting if you do this act, right? So this was the first question. The second question is, so asking yourself that is this an option for me right now? That yes, this is very painful, I am going through a lot, this pain is getting unbearable, but can I still bear it? Can I still push through? Can I still go on for some more time? So in that moment, you have to tell yourself that alright, for some more time, and then after you feel better, you kind of revisit that situation, right? So asking these questions to yourself can help you in getting yourself back from that brink, like I mentioned earlier. The next couple of techniques are of a positive psychological approach. So there is something known as the hope kit. So I am going to be making a video about my hope kit, and I have made it to share it with you guys how you can assemble your own hope kit. So stay tuned for that video. So hope kit is basically a collection of all the things that give you positivity, all the things that give you energy, and these are tangible things that you can read, that you can look at. So collecting one small box of such things and then taking a look at that hope kit when you are feeling suicidal reminds you of what you have. Oftentimes when we are in a negative loop of thoughts, we are constantly thinking about things that we don't have, things that we wished would have gone in a different way, things that we are mad about, things that we are sad about, right? So in those moments when you take something that is as tangible as a hope kit and you open it and you see what's there inside, it really helps you to get yourself back from that suicidal ideation, to get yourself back from committing the act. So taking a look at the hope kit is the next technique. The last couple of techniques that I'm going to be sharing are for the people who have been taking therapy, who have been taking medicines. So generally every psychiatrist will give every patient an SOS pill. That pill has to be taken if you are feeling intensely suicidal. So the the thing that a person needs to do in that situation is go and take that pill, go and take that SOS pill that will help you battle the suicidal ideation. The second technique, in this subset of techniques, is reading the notes that you have written in your therapy sessions, going over the activities, going over the tasks that you have done with your therapist. It is extremely important to revise, to kind of tell it back to your brain that hey, this is what we have discussed in the last therapy session, and this is what you have decided with your therapist about how you are going to deal with suicidal thoughts. So revising the therapy notes, and last but not at all least, getting an appointment with your psychiatrist, getting a therapy session as soon as possible. So these were the couple of techniques from my safety blanket that I wanted to share with every one of you. These techniques, like I said, will help you in that brink of that moment, in that precise moment when a person decides that he or she wants to end his or her life. So these techniques can be used in adjunct to therapy, or they can be used by themselves, but definitely treatment in the form of medicines and therapy has seemed to have tremendous benefits, tremendous effects on getting a person back, on saving a person's life. So that's it for today. I will come back with the next video with the hope kit, which is going to be an exciting video and a very interesting video. So stay tuned for that. So be kind to people, try to understand what's going on with them, and do your small part in in tackling, in fighting against suicide and fighting against depression. Take care everybody. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.